This is the Washington Master Electrician Electrical Code Book. You can get the Journeyman Electrician. They're all about the same. They just have a couple of different things in each of them. This is what I would use, and this is what I did use. I used the Electrician 2017 by Ray Holder to pass my NEC exam in Washington State. The benefit of using the specific for Washington State is that it has some guidance on what to do for Washington, how to go to PSI, how to obtain your certification, how to schedule your exam. The advantage of doing a master electrician is that it's going to have load questions and prepare you for that exam. It has your fees. If you fail your third attempt, then you have to wait 3 months to just pass it your first time. That's the goal of having a study guide. This is the best study guide that I've found. It has the examination site locations. The one I went to was Span-A-Flight here in Puyallup. I thought that one was a very enjoyable one. I also went to Olympia my first couple times, and I prefer Span-A-Flight in Puyallup. You have to score a 70%, which means you only have to get 7/10 of your questions correct, or not very many, really. You just have to pass it. You don't have to get a perfect score. It's all open book. This is important. You can use any original copyrighted material containing questions and answers. So you could take this if you wanted to. I didn't need to, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend taking your tabbed code book and have your code book well highlighted, and then you want the key index by Tom Henry, and that was very useful too in being able to find quickly what you wanted. Here's your examination content, so it lets you know how much you need to pass. This is for 01. I'm going to take the 01 administrator test. So I'll have 65 questions on the NEC. Theory, Washington codes is the same, and major load calculations is part of the learning for progressing in this life. So I'm going to learn those, and those are contained in this Master Electrician study guide. Moving on, you don't have to pass as many for residential electric, so you'll have 44 NEC theory questions, and rather than 65 for your admin. And that's just for your admin for O2. You only have to pass 40 for your electrician. Coming into the questions, here we have, this is useful information too for those coming out of state. There is a guideline on what you need to do to get your electrical license in Washington. Okay, how to prepare for the exam. This is important stuff. You can read this kind of thing. This is good advice and helped motivated me. The more you learn, the more you earn. That's definitely true. Opportunities in life will arise. Be prepared for them. Attempting to take an exam without preparation is a complete waste of time. Don't make that mistake. You could attend classes at your local community college, attend seminars. I'm not a big fan of sitting in a classroom listening to someone explain what they think I should know. I'm about finding the best materials to study and then studying them. And Ray Holder is the best. How to study. This is a good advice as well. It's better to study short lengths, but it's also good to study long lengths. And that's just because the exam is going to be 2, 3, 4 hours. It's going to be 3 hours for your electrical residential exam just for the NEC. And then you have the WAC that you have to pass as well. I didn't use a straight edge. I just looked carefully. It's not a bad tip though. As you study this exam preparation book, NEC and other references, highlight the important points. I'll do this in this book. The subject matter, you have all the subject matter in this book. And then there's also some basic knowledge about conductors and capacitors that are worth looking into as well. Maybe take a ham radio course. This is good advice. Complete the easy questions first. Using Tom Henry's, you can find a lot of the words, so you don't have to do as much math. If you find all the worded questions through Tom Henry's using the codes, using the keyword indexes, then you can essentially get really good score on your exam. Tab your codebook so it's easy to find. Understand the question, you just want to be careful, because sometimes you just have to be careful about what you do, and as a journeyman you have to be careful too. Show up early. Oftentimes the exam will let you begin earlier, but that just decreases stress. You want to have as much peace going into this as you can. And then you have typical exam questions right here, and we can start to go over that. You can't go beyond the established time limits, and you will have to wear a face mask nowadays, and you're assigned to a seat on the computer. So it's going to be a computer test. Get used to looking at a screen. Let's see, what else? There's practice questions, something to utilize. And what else? Review your answers with the answer key. Here's some formulas. I don't bother with those, and I'll show you why I don't bother with them. Useful formulas. You'll want to know what these useful formulas are to a certain degree, and you'll want to understand I is amps, E is volts, kilowatts, kilovolt, kilovolt amperes, horsepower, percent efficiency, power factor. You'll want to know all those things. Go through the voltage drop formulas and understand these things.